take us to the last 10 weeks. We know the story. You've actually had a preparation to fight this guy.
Yeah.
Just take us through that preparation, the sparring, and we've seen the heights.
Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, you know. A lot of sparring, a lot of game planning, strategizing with coach, flying different boys in, also working with much taller boys. You know, you're also preparing for a southpaw, so from to a lefty. So yeah, it's been a lot of work.
How much to review the last fight to use this? Because before the knock, obviously, never past that.
Yeah.
It did look like you'd worked out a way to break him down, but conversely, he's going to know a lot more about you. So,
yeah,
your thoughts on that sort of side?
Yeah, we both know a lot about each other. You know, we both went to life and death together there. You know, it wasn't a one-way road for him. He was copping a few shots as well. So, a lot to learn. It's a game of strategy. You know, we both come back. And we both know each other, and it's who does the homework better, and this is it.
Career-wise, life or death?
Huh?
Career-wise, is this sort of life or death?
Everything's life and death in this sport, you know. Kill or be killed.
You both took the last fight on short notice, but I imagine it's your big advantage, you know, preparing over 10 weeks compared to you've got a fighting opponent up here, but he's used to fighting opponents your height, so imagine it's your advantage, is it?
Yeah, I feel like that part is a bit more on my part, just for the fact that he was preparing for Bakachuk at that time, who's an Eastern European fighter, sort of similar style like myself, you know, so he was getting in that work, and I went to a completely different style. But yeah, no excuses this time around, it's no stone unturned.
Last time you went to Vegas, you were going there as the undefeated champ from Australia, sort of had something to prove. How do you feel, or how do you see it this time around?
Yeah, it's a lot of lessons learned since that time. More mature, more comfortable in his own skin fighter, and not just a fighter, but as a person. And it's a whole different feeling and aspect in this towards the last time. The last time I had momentum. This time coming around, I feel like I got the momentum back, and I got more to prove. And the fact that when I rewrite this chapter, it's going to be one hell of a story, and that's the leading motivation right there.
Is that more to prove to yourself or the fight fans, and particularly US fight fans?
It's more about the story. Look, the US fight fans, they know, they understand what I'm all about, and that I bring the action and all of that stuff. It's just proving it in my story, you know, not to anyone really, but just proving it.
MGM Grand, Manny Pacquiao, like this is sort of childhood dreams.
Doesn't get bigger, you know.
Can you speak to that a little bit? I know Manny's obviously you're a huge fan of him.
Yeah, look, I think everyone dreams of certain things, certain feelings as a young kid. You know, maybe as a young kid you thought you're going to be an astronaut, or you're going to say these ridiculous things, you know. I'm actually living it, you know. I'm living what I said I would do as a young kid when he said certain things where people would be laughing. But I'm here. I'm living the superhero character, and it's what life's about for me. Well, it should be for everyone, you know.
What does it mean to be on the same card as Manny? Given that you once looked up to him, you know, I think you were, 2009, you were screaming out at him as he walked out.
Miguel Cotto. Yeah, I was that kid up on the top going, Manny. And he gave me the little wave, you know, so hopefully I can do that back to the next generation and inspire that next person to be fighting at MGM Grand one day.
Do you feel like you're making up for a lost year here too, mate? Like, is it a reset? Like, how do you redemption? What
No,
is
it's
the story like?
look. I think there's no such thing as a successful story without failures, and a couple bumps on the road doesn't mean you're completely out. But this year is going to be like a vengeance year. That's the word for me. And it started off Joey Spencer, and it's going to keep on going, keep on rolling.
And how do you feel he's holding himself as the champ? there seems to be different feel about him this time around?
I've had a whole different feeling towards this whole camp. You know, I've literally paused everything in my life, all the external noise, and just gone like that. You know, and when you have that, it's an unbelievable feeling, because when you're so obsessed with reaching a certain goal, that's all there is in this life for me. So that's all it is for me. It's Fundora by KO.
Is that why you did most of your camp at home?
Yeah, just the comfort of being at home. It's hard to go to Vegas when you're in Australia. You know, it's to be living in Australia. I have everything here. I have it all. The fact that I'm fortunate enough to be able to bring sparring partners down has made it much easier for me. And if I can do it here, go there for the business part, I'll finish my prep here. That's what I intend to do.
Moving forward as well?
Yeah. Look, I was at that stage where I was going to move to the US, and I still wouldn't mind going. Just for the fact that when I was at the Caleb Plant fight, I'm sitting there, and you got like legends coming past you and saying hi, recognizing you, and you're like, we're in Australia here, we're so far away from the rest of the world that you don't really recognize the impact that you're actually making. So the fact that I was in that boxing world, and that's what meant a lot to me. And the fact that if I'm able to go to some big fights there and visit in and out sometimes, that's what I want. But not to live there, man. Australia's home. It's hard to get away from Australia, you know. I got the beach 5 minutes away. I got a Porsche in my backyard, and I got a beautiful wife and a dog at home. What else do I need? You know?
Cool.